That's looking out to Pegasus Bay from Godley Heads. So the official Christchurch 360 trail starts over the other side of the road over there, so we'll just walk across. Just look out for traffic. And then you can see this is the Godley Head Loop Track. And so we're just heading off to the right here and around over that stile and around the side of the hill. That's the way the Christchurch 360 goes. There's also a MTB track that goes up and over this hill here. So we're now on the Christchurch 360 and heading around to Godley Heads. So you can see the Christchurch 360 logo on that post over there. We're just going over that stile and heading around this hill out towards the heads. Just heading up the hill. So you're just looking down into Lyttelton Harbour there. That's looking across to Purau. Ripper Island is that wee island separated off from the mainland. And then in behind Purau is Mount Herbert and Mount Bradley on the Banks Peninsula on the other side of the harbour. That's looking further up Lyttelton Harbour towards Gebby's Pass in the far distance. It's uphill to start with on this track. That view is the mouth of Lyttelton Harbour going out into the ocean, into Pegasus Bay. The track sidles around these hills to that point over there in the far distance when you start walking down to Godley Head. It's quite steep, but then it gradually evens out. This section of the Crater and Walkway was closed for a couple of years after the Christchurch earthquakes because big boulders keep falling down the side of the hill, but it's open now. You just have to be careful in certain places. So I'm just walking through the rockfall zone. It's real busy on these tracks because it's Matariki today. Yeah, it's the first time they're celebrating Matariki as a public holiday. Bit of up and down. So there's a good view up Lyttelton Harbour all the way to Gebby's Pass. You can just see the harbour off on the right hand side there. Yeah, so anyway, it's Matariki today. Matariki's a Maori celebration. Primarily it was a harvest festival, but it's also like a remembrance time when you remember people that have passed away over the last year. 2022 is the first year that it's been a public holiday, but from now going forwards, sometime between the end of June and halfway through July, there'll be a public holiday. It's basically marked when the Pleiades star group comes up over the eastern horizon, and you know, people have these ceremonies where they go down to the beach and they watch it the first night it comes up over the horizon. Yeah, it's good to have some public holidays that are about Maori culture. We should have more of them, really. So we're just about to go around the corner and then we'll be able to see down to Godley Head. That's Adderley Head over there on the Banks Peninsula side of Lyttelton Harbour. There's a couple of wee bays over there. I'll look the names up and I'll put them on the vlog clip here when I put it together. This one over here where there's a farm. Yeah, so the mouth of Lyttelton Harbour is about maybe 1.5 to 2 kilometres wide at this point, and like super deep. This is the point where the volcano collapsed and the inundation of the sea over the top of the debris. That's Mount Evans over there. Mount Evans is the 3rd or 4th highest hill on the Banks Peninsula. That's looking down to Godley Head. So I'm heading out toward Godley Head on the Crater Rim Walkway. It's just down there below me. Godley Head was covered in a whole lot of defence installations back during the Second World War. We'll go down and have a look and see, because the track actually goes through it, but it has been closed for quite a while because they discovered asbestos down there, and so they basically stopped the public from walking around. But we'll go down and have a look. It's looking down to Godley Head where all the defence installations are. You can see some of the defence installations down there, down on Godley Head on this side of the peninsula. Christchurch 360 trail heads downhill there down to the car park there at Godley Head, and then we'll go on from there and I'll explain what happens from that point. Looking out to Pegasus Bay from Godley Heads. You can see right up the bay. On a really clear day you can actually see all the way to Kaikoura, which is out in that direction. There's a Defence Works pillbox up on that hill up there. I'll just walk up to it to show you what it looks like. So that's a observation post up on Godley Head. Let's go have a look. This is Battery Observation Post 1. At one time there was a whole defence installation up here on Godley Head. Observation towers, they had some guns, searchlight batteries. This was one of the observation towers. I'll go inside and show you. It's got awesome views out to Pegasus Bay. This is from inside Observation Post 1. You can see the magnificent view that it had of the whole of Pegasus Bay. And also out to the heads of Lyttelton over here on the other side. Yeah, so I'm up on the roof of the observation post number 1 and looking down to Godley Heads. There's Christchurch off in the distance. I'm just sitting up on a rock up above the car park on Godley Head, just having something to eat, just having some lunch. It's really busy down there. There's like a whole lot of people on motorbikes that just turned up, or I would have sat down there because there's picnic tables and like a set of toilets and, you know, some information panels. It's quite a good place to stop down there, but it's just too busy. So I'll just have my lunch and then I'll walk down the hill there and we'll have a look and see what the signs say. But I don't see people walking around by the defence installation, so I'm thinking the track's probably closed. So there's what I've got for lunch today. I've got some beer sticks, cashew nuts, salted, Snickers bar, and then there's one of those cracker cheese salami packs. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I normally take with me for lunches when I'm doing day walks. I'm eating some of those cracker and salami and cheese packs. Yeah, they're really good for tramping lunches. Entrance to Port Levy just over there. Godley Heads is that ridge line in between us and Port Levy. Yeah, it's like the outer limits of Littleton Harbour. There's someone in a sea kayak out there. That's as close as I can get a view to them. Yeah, looks like they're pedalling around from Port Levy into Littleton. So I finished my lunch. I'll start walking down the hill down to the car park down there, and we'll just see what the signs say. There's a whole pile of information panels up here about the people that worked up here, what the installations were for, you know, about the whole threat of the Japanese and the Germans during the war. That's one of the panels just down from where I stopped for lunch. That's the MTB track that goes up and over the hill. There's frogs in this wee wet area here, this wee swampy area. That's quite strange, isn't it? So at the moment that's as far as you can go with the Christchurch 360 trail. You can't go around Godley Head Loop Track around the defence installations because of the asbestos. So what you basically do is you just go back through the car park, and then there's a track going down the other side of the hill that goes back onto that loop track, round past the contaminated area. Now there's a couple of picnic tables here and some information panels, and then obviously you could walk up to the defence installations up the hill, walk around that hill that I've just walked around, or walk another section of the track. You just can't walk out to the defence installation. There's a set of toilets over there that you can use. They're actually open at the moment. You might be able to see there's some people walking up the hill. That's where we're heading. That's where the track goes down and joins back onto Pilgrims Way, a bit further down the hill and outside of the Godley Head exclusion zone. There's another New Zealand invention, the cattle stop. Railway lines laid across an empty space, and stock can't get across. So we're just heading over this way and then down the track. Yeah, so we're just heading downhill and heading back to Taylor's Mistake. Looking towards Scarborough Cliffs and Pegasus Bay, the beach going all the way out. So you just want to keep going straight to get back onto the Pilgrims Way Track. If you go left, it takes you down to Scott's hut, which was an old packable hut that Scott took down to Antarctica on one of his expeditions, and they dismantled it and brought it back up here and put it back up on the hill about maybe 5 years ago. Just making my way around the side of the hill just to get back onto the Pilgrims Way Track over there. Yeah, so this is just basically a sheep track. Goes around the hill there, joins on over where the exclusion zone starts, and then I'll be heading downhill. Those buildings were old barrack blocks and offices for the gun installation out here. They use them, the dock rangers use them there. So we're just heading down that way. You can see the track going out onto that headland. That's as far up the Pilgrims Way Track that you can go, and then the track takes you along the edge of the fence and back over to the Godley Head car park. But we're just going to turn around and head down the hill. So we're on the Pilgrim Way Track, heading down to Taylor's Mistake. That cargo ship might just be sitting out there. Must not be going into Littleton Harbour. Big set of cliffs over there. Yeah, so you can see where the track zigzags down the side of the hill. So there was a battery of 5.5 inch guns that sat here as a temporary measure. They didn't have any guns up here at the start of the war, and so they put a couple of 5.5 inch howitzers here, and they built these platforms for the guns, and then later in the war they put some big 6-inch guns up on that headland up there, and those were the main guns. Those were alcoves were ammunition storage. They put ammo in there, and then there were like armoured doors on the outside. Yeah. And the bigger ones were where the gunners could actually get in there if somebody had returned fire on them. So that's the Scarborough Cliffs over there. The highest point is about 150 metres. And then right in front of us there, that's Taylor's Mistake, where we're heading. You can see the track winding down around that bay over there. There's a wee bay there with some batches in it. I think it might be called Boulder Bay, not sure. There's a sign down the hill here. I'll put the name up anyway, whatever it is. Yeah. So there's like a beach down there, rocks. I can see some people walking around down on the beach. Probably quite good for fishing down there. Yeah, it is Boulder Bay. The residents have planted a big patch of like native bush here. So like typical lowland native bush you would have had on the hillside back when Europeans first arrived. Yeah, starting to get quite tall now. We're just continuing on around sidling above Boulder Bay. That's looking down to Boulder Bay. Yeah, there's about maybe 10 patches down there. That's boar ear. It's a type of succulent that grows out on these peninsulas out here. I'll put the Latin name up here for you as well. I can't pronounce it. Yeah, it's all over this hillside. You see lots of it out here in these bays, and down the other side of the hill over here as well, like all over the hill. So that headland over there is the last one before Taylor's Mistake. There's a seabird colony here at a certain time of the year, and so there's a predator-proof fence down there to stop stoats and things getting down to the seagulls or terns. Can't remember what it is that nest down there. Still about 2.5 k's to get back to Taylor's Mistake. There's a bit of an uphill section up to the junction with the Breeze Col Loop Track and the Sidewinder track. Yeah, so you're just climbing up the hill. Some stairs to climb up. So I'm on the downhill section down to Taylor's Mistake. There's about maybe a kilometre of the track left. Taylor's Mistake down there. There's a seat here just up above Taylor's Mistake, so I've just been sitting there having a bit of a break at the end of the walk. Yeah, really nice. The sun's come out, so it's lovely and warm, and it's got a great view down to the beach down there. There's a couple of seals swimming around out there in Taylor's Mistake. I just keep seeing their heads popping up over out of the water and looking around. Yeah, can't get any closer. I don't have a zoom lens with me. Sun's come out for the first time today. Very bright down there. Look at all those people down on the beach. So we're just walking the last couple of 100 metres to the end of the track. So the last wee section of the track there. So the last part of the track is just over the beach, and then back to the car park over there. There's a Christchurch 360 logo on that post there. So there's a set of toilets at the start finish of the track. That's the car park at Taylor's Mistake. So that's the end of the track. That was about 4 hours walking. It's a really nice track. You should come and give it a go. Yeah, a section of the Christchurch 360 trail. See you on the next one.